Hey everyone, welcome back. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Today we're going to dive into Walmart and some pretty big changes they're making to their offices.
Yeah, they're really shaking things up. Hundreds of jobs are being cut, but this isn't just a typical downsizing story. There's a whole strategy at play here, and it's all about the future of work, specifically in-person work.
So let's break down what's actually going on. Walmart's closing their office in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's right. 267 employees are going to be affected by that closure, which is slated for June 13, 2025. And this is part of a larger pattern we're seeing at Walmart.
It seems like they're trying to consolidate their workforce.
Yeah, they want to get more people together in fewer locations. So we're seeing employees being moved to Bentonville, Arkansas, where their headquarters is.
And they're also opening a new office in Sunnyvale, California.
Exactly right.
Now, we can't ignore the fact that jobs are being lost here.
Absolutely. And that's never easy. But Walmart says they're offering relocation support or severance packages to the people affected.
And it's not just the folks in Charlotte. We're hearing reports that several hundred campus roles across the board are being impacted.
So this restructuring is pretty widespread. It would be easy to assume this is all about cost cutting.
But it seems like there's more to it than that.
Yeah, they're making a statement about how important in-person work is to them.
Walmart seems to really believe in that face-to-face collaboration.
They do. In fact, there's a memo circulating where they talk about speed and shared understanding and how being physically together strengthens their culture.
They believe it actually makes them a better company. This is a pretty bold move, especially when so many companies are still figuring out their work models after the pandemic.
It really is, and it goes against what a lot of other companies are doing.
Walmart's basically saying, we're all in on being in the office.
Which ties into a larger trend we're seeing in the U.S., this push to get everyone back to the office.
Even after all that time spent working remotely. But this isn't without its critics.
Of course not.
While Walmart sees this as a win for innovation and their company culture, there are real challenges for those employees being asked to relocate or even lose their jobs.
For sure. So the question is, do the potential benefits of having everyone together outweigh the disruption it causes for some?
It's a complex situation, and we're going to need some time to see how this all plays out. We've talked about the big picture, but let's not forget about the people this actually affects.
You're right. These employees are facing some really difficult choices.
Imagine being one of those 267 employees in Charlotte. You've built a life there, your routine, everything, and now you're being asked to move across the country or lose your job.
That's a huge decision to make. Relocating to Bentonville or Sunnyvale is no small feat.
You'd have to think about your family uprooting them, leaving friends and support systems.
And starting over in a completely new place, not to mention the financial implications.
There's those who decide not to relocate. It's a whole other set of worries.
Absolutely. Job loss is never easy.
There's the financial strain, of course, and the gap on your resume, but also the uncertainty of finding a new job.
It's a lot to deal with. Walmart has said they're offering relocation support and severance packages.
But what does that actually look like?
Right. What does support really mean for these employees?
We know they're offering something, but how much help are they really getting?
Typically, relocation support might include things like help with moving expenses,
Maybe some temporary housing.
assistance with finding schools for their kids, things like that. And severance usually involves a lump sum payment based on their time at the company.
Sometimes they might offer continued health insurance for a certain period.
Right. But even with all of that, it's hard to say if it really makes up for the disruption.
Moving is stressful enough as it is, even when it's your choice. But being forced to do it or lose your job adds another layer of difficulty.
And even with relocation assistance, there's no guarantee things will be the same in a new city.
Will they be able to find a house they can afford? Will the cost of living be comparable?
And will they even be able to find a job that matches their skills and experience?
It's definitely not a simple swap.
And for those who do relocate, there's the whole process of adjusting to a new place.
A new city, a new commute, new routines. Building a new life takes time and energy.
It does. So while Walmart is focused on increasing collaboration and innovation, there are real human costs to this decision.
Costs that might not be fully acknowledged, it makes you wonder if they're truly weighing those costs against the potential benefits.
Are they really prioritizing the well-being of their employees during this transition?
That's a tough question to answer. This is a complex situation with no easy solutions.
What we can say for sure is that this decision has consequences that reach far beyond Walmart as a company.
This affects the lives of hundreds of people directly.
Exactly. We can't forget about those individual stories in all of this.
Absolutely. So we've talked about the immediate impact on the people directly affected by the closures, but let's zoom out a bit. What does this move say about Walmart's long-term vision for its workforce? Are they sticking with the idea that being in the office is the default way to work?
It's an interesting question. We've seen such a dramatic shift towards remote work during the pandemic.
Even big tech companies who you'd think would embrace the latest ways of working have adopted flexible arrangements.
That's right. And employees have gotten used to having more control over their work-life balance.
So in that context, Walmart's decision to go all in on in-person work seems a bit out of step.
They're basically saying that being together in the office is non-negotiable.
It's like they're swimming against the current.
It makes you wonder if it's a sustainable approach, especially in today's job market.
Where talent has so many options, if the best and brightest people out there want flexibility and remote work options, will Walmart be able to attract and retain them?
It's a gamble. They're betting that the benefits of in-person collaboration outweigh any drawbacks of a less flexible work environment.
But is that a bet they can win? Only time will tell.
And it's not just about attracting new talent. It's about keeping the employees they already have.
How will this affect morale? You have employees who've been successful working remotely who've built their lives around that flexibility.
What happens when they're suddenly told they have to come back to the office?
There's potential for some real resentment and dissatisfaction there.
And that can lead to increased turnover, which is never good for a company.
You have to replace those people, train them, get them up to speed.
It disrupts the workflow and slows things down.
So Walmart's walking a fine line here. They need to make this transition work without alienating their employees.
They need clear communication, empathy, and a willingness to listen to their employees' concern.
If they don't get that balance right, this whole move could backfire. It's a big experiment, and it's not just Walmart doing this.
You're right. This whole back to the office trend is something we're seeing across a lot of industries.
Companies are watching this unfold, trying to decide if they should do the same thing.
They're looking to Walmart as a test case.
So what are the signs that this gamble is paying off? Or the signs that it's not working?
Well, first, they're going to look at the data. Did productivity actually improve after everyone came back?
Are those in-person brainstorming sessions leading to more innovation?
And ultimately, did profits go up? Did it affect their bottom line?
Because that's what companies really care about.
Results. If Walmart can show that this is actually boosting their performance, it's going to send a message to other companies
That maybe they should be doing the same thing.
But on the other hand, if morale takes a hit and top talent starts leaving for companies with more flexible policies, that's a warning sign.
That this whole back to the office push might be backfiring. And this isn't a one-time decision.
It's not. They can't just bring everyone back and then never reassess the situation.
The world of work is constantly evolving.
What works today might not work tomorrow.
They need to be flexible and willing to adapt based on what they're seeing.
And based on what their employees are telling them.
Communication is going to be so important throughout this whole process.
It is. This kind of change can be really unsettling for people, especially when it comes to where and how they work.
Employees need to feel like their concerns are being taken seriously.
Walmart has to explain why they're making these changes and what their vision for the future of work actually looks like.
They need to be transparent about the support employees can expect during this time.
If they don't, they risk losing the trust of their employees and creating a lot of resistance.
It's a tricky situation. I'm not sure anyone has the definitive answer on this whole remote versus in-person work debate.
It's such a complicated issue. There are valid points on both sides.
And what works for one company might not work for another.
It depends on the type of work they do, their company culture, individual preferences.
Maybe it's not about choosing one over the other,
But about finding the right balance.
creating a work environment that allows for collaboration and innovation, but also respects individual needs.
Finding that sweet spot that works for everyone.
Well, we've covered a lot today. We looked at the changes at Walmart, the reasons behind them, the impact on employees, and what this all means for the future of work.
It's clear that there's still a lot to learn as this story continues to develop.
I think it reminds us that the future of work is still being written.
And what we're seeing with Walmart and other companies experimenting with different models is all part of this ongoing evolution.
There's no one right answer, no crystal ball to tell us what the future holds.
But we can keep asking these questions and keep adapting as the world of work changes around us.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll continue to follow this story and keep you updated.